Good afternoon, it's Pat Walker, Mission Winners. Changing the format a little bit here, but I think this will help you. I have weeklies on my left, daily on the right. Weekly on the left, daily on the right. It will help you frame up the bigger picture chart setups. Clean and simple, basing formation is the platform that can lead to bigger advances. And that's what we're after. So what do? Weekly on the left, daily on the right. You see this long base? This is BBH, by the way, just to always help you. You'll see the ticker symbol in the upper left-hand corner. So this is biotechnology. You can say, and again, the proof's in the pudding. This is why I do this way and have done it this way for decades. You look at the daily chart and you can say, yeah, you know, you get a little bit of a pullback here. Okay, I guess maybe it'll bounce here. Had decent volume on this bar, but bouncing off the ADMA. Yeah, I can see that. But look at the weekly chart. Look at the long base going all the way back, and I'll draw this for you. Well, we'll just do the line. Across those tops. You see that yellow line? There you go. And I can do this. There it is. Clean tops. Take out that line on really heavy volume. That could be a potential buy, which also coincides with the tops right here. Watch it and see what happens. Cloud computing, really there's nothing good here, folks. Okay? Don't overthink it. There's nothing great. Leave it alone. The best thing it could do is if it takes out the tops of these bars, but there's a ton of overhead here. Compare and contrast this. Here's biotechnology with a nice long base. This is still kind of languishing here. Be aware of that. Electric vehicles. This is the weekly. Not a lot of power here, folks. Okay? Needs to at least take out this cup and a handle, but again, this is not clean and simple. Be aware of that. Dow Jones Internet, lagging, not a lot of power here. Be careful with it. IBD 50, look at this. This is the weekly chart, folks. Look at the trend this year, dropping. And what has it done for us? We basically avoided a lot of the pain and heartache of arguing with it. The IBD 50 is a great proxy of the leading stocks. And you can see it's dropping, and it's been dropping most of this year. But note this, could that change? Of course it can change, and will always be ready. Gold miners. Here's the weekly. Push through those tops right there. See that right there? Yeah, this was on the key list and was bought. There you go. It's a good start. Look at the base. Look at the volume pickup right there. It's vanilla. That's what we will look for. Focus on bases that everybody can see. It increases the potential that A, they see it, and B, they will act on it. And how will it be measured? By price action combined with volume action. Look at the volume pickup. There you go. I'm not saying buy it here, but I'm just sharing investing tactics, proven investing tactics that work. Let's continue onward. Gold, basing right here. Perhaps it'll go across these tops, and I'll draw this for you. Just clean tops. It's nothing fancy. See the clean tops right here? Look at that. Watch this. Look at this base. You see that move? See that taking out these tops? Watch this. I'm like a kid in a candy store. I love this stuff. Love candy too. Here we go. Going sideways. Look at the volume pickup on the weekly. Look at the move. Same situation right here. Maybe it'll take across these tops. I said maybe. Let it push through the tops. Don't impose your will on it. Let it tell you what to do. Price and volume. There you go. Biotechnology, longer base right here. Doesn't look too bad. Another biotechnology ETF. Remember we saw BBH? Look at the weekly base on this. Going back almost a year. Pushes through that line with heavy volume. Could be a potential buy. There we go. Online retail, it's pretty much lagging here, folks. Okay? Ain't a lot of power here. I'd be careful with that. Oil and gas exploration. Look at that base. We're involved with we're involved in energy stocks, and we have been for a while. You're going to see more as I go through this list. See those base tops right there on the weekly? Takes out that line with volume. That could be a potential buy or an add-on. Watch and see. But remember, it needs price action backed by volume. Volume means other people see what we see and they are acting on it. There you go. Let's continue onward, shall we? Software technology, this is lagging. Not a lot of power here. Be careful with that. Medicine is lagging. Okay, be careful with that. By the way, you can always look and see the ticker symbol right there and the name of what it is. Okay, that'll help you. Mid cap, it's kind of choppy here, folks. There's not a lot of power here. Be careful with that. Home construction, maybe a base right here. Okay, and I'll draw this for you. You can see it. Take out those tops, possibly, okay, which corresponds with the highs of this bar too. Kind of a cup with a handle formation, you can see. But what does it need? It'll need a good market and good volume. There you go. S&P growth is lagging. Not a lot of power here. Be careful with that. IWM, small cap, lagging. Be careful with that. Airlines, basing here, but lagging. And this is not a leadership type of deal. Always ask yourself, would you see this set up anywhere saying this is what you want to do? This is what you're after. Focus on clean and simple patterns. And there's a reason why. I want to be very pragmatic with you. We want other people to see what we see. Clean and simple basing formations increases the potential. Other people see it and they're acting, or they will act on it. Regional banking, it's kind of choppy, not a lot of power there. Mid cap, a little choppy here. I mean, look at the whipping around here. You get caught on the wrong side of that, it'll just mess you up. Clean and simple base would be nice, perhaps across these tops. Wait and see. And how will you be able to tell? Pushes through the top of this bar here, and it does it on really heavy volume on the daily. There you go. Oil services, we're in this. You see this lift right here on the weekly? Check this out. It's simple. It's not fancy. Look at the base. Clean and simple base. You could draw with a crayon. Don't do that. It really messes up the monitors, let me tell you. But you can see these tops here. Look at the volume pickup. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Folks, they voted there. See the volume? Yeah, and we own it. And it's working. In a crummy market, look at this move. You're talking 60 points. There you go. By the way, let me clarify. I'm not saying buy it up here. I'm saying we bought it here, pushing through that line. And there's the weekly. There we go. Continue onward. Oil's a little choppier here. Okay, you can see. Compare and contrast. Note the nice trend here on OIH and note the choppiness on OIL. Which one are we in? OIH. You'll see more in a minute. These are the major, by the way, folks, these are the major index ETFs. It will help guide you. Online retail, there's nothing really good here, folks. Be careful with this. There's not leadership there. Pharmaceuticals, maybe coupled with a handle across these tops. And I'll draw this for you so you can see what I'm talking about. There you go. But what's it need to do? Take out that line and take it out on really heavy volume. There you go. It's what it's going to take. Remember, volume is important. Volume means other people see what we see and they are acting on it. And that's what we want. QLD, just kind of chopping around here on the weekly and the daily. You can say that's, look at that. It ran up and it closed below where it opened on a pickup in volume. There's not a lot of power. The next day it gaps up and closes down. It's just chopping around. Not a lot of leadership with the NASDAQ 100. QQQ, same situation. Retailing, kind of choppy here, folks. Look at the weekly. There's not a lot of power there. Be careful with retail. Cloud computing. Look at this. Look at the weekly. Look at the red. What's it telling you? There ain't a lot of leadership. Stay away. There's better places to go. Silver started to lift off and it fell down again. Not a lot of leadership. Be careful with that. Steel is chopping around here a little bit. There was a base right here, okay, going across here, but there wasn't really heavy volume, was there? I'll say this again. This is for everybody. And yes, I used to teach this at the IBD meetups for 12 years. People talk with their mouths and vote with their pocketbooks. Go where they're voting, okay? We don't impose our will on the stocks and the charts. We let price and volume guide us. That helps us. SMH, chopping around. Semiconductors, be kind of careful with that, not a lot of power. Spiders, chopping around, needs to take out these tops here. Kind of see a cup with a handle. Here's one thing that's nice about the spiders, is you can see there's some buying up here, and there's some buying right there. Needs to push above these tops and do it on really heavy volume. Not the best setup though, be careful. SSO, similar situation. Lifting some would be great to take out the tops of this bar. Okay, that would be nice. Watch and see. Solar, you can see these tops right here. Looks okay. It's okay. Not great, but okay. Solar. Small caps, lagging, choppier, not much to do with it. Uranium started to go and they gave it right back. Be cautious with that. Oil. Another oil. Look at this. Lifts up and they take it right back down. When you see it go up and they take it right back down and it falls back into the base, be careful with that. Don't argue with it. The dollar is dropping. That's not good. We like a strong dollar. Aerospace and defense started to pick up. How is the power on this? This is a great lesson for everybody. You say, wow, look at that bar, buddy. This is huge. How is the volume on that bar? Volume. Volume means other people see what we see and they are acting on it. They're buying. We prefer up volume, of course. It went up, but not a lot of power. So be cautious with aerospace and defense. Biotechnologies will kind of loose, another biotechnology ETF. Be careful with that, not a lot of power. Home builders, you can see these tops across here, okay? We'll draw this for you. Kind of has a cup of the handle right here too, doesn't it? And I'll draw this for you. This is what we do at Mission Winners. It's nothing fancy, folks. Focus on patterns. I need to share this with everybody. Focus on simple chart patterns everybody can see. Why? Because it increases the potential that A, they see it, and B, they'll buy too. Isn't that what we want? We don't want to be the lone wolf out there. We want other people seeing it. And you can see a little choppier here. Needs to push above that line with volume. We're about done. Materials is picking up a little bit. Take out these tops could be good. Energy hanging in. By the way, you see these tops right here? See the base right here? Energy. I'll draw this for you. And this is why we're involved with in energy. Look, clean and simple tops. I'll draw it for you on the daily to help you. There you go. And it's just slowly grinding up. I'm not saying buy it here, but you can see the trend. There you go. That works. Financials is chopping up a little bit, okay? There were some clean tops across here, and I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to draw this for you. There you go. You see the clean tops? What does it need to do? There's some decent volume on this bar. There's some decent volume on that bar. It needs to push above this line, which also corresponds with this line right here, and it needs to do it on volume. This is weekly on the left, daily on the right. Financials, something maybe watch going forward. Industrials, that's kind of hanging in there too, isn't it? There you go. Across these tops. Technology's lagging. Look at this. See this near the highs? See this? Not near the highs. Tells you to be careful with technology. That's power for us. It's good to know that. Consumer staples is picking up a little bit. It's okay. It's all right. Utilities is chopping around here quite a bit. A lot of overhead. I mean, folks, look at this. Look at this drop and look at the selling volume. Healthcare. You can see the tops here on healthcare. Go across this line right here, which corresponds with there you go. Take out that line and do it on really heavy volume in a good market. There you go. vanilla, nothing fancy. Compare and contrast. Consumer discretionary. I mean, look at this. You see the tops right here? I don't see much down here, do you? There you go. Leave it alone. It's very important to say, this is what I need to look for. And it's just as important to say, this is what I need to avoid. Here we go. Metals and mining across this tops wouldn't be too bad. And I'll draw this for you. Whoopsie daisy. My mistake. Let's do that again. There you go. Take out these tops and do it on volume. Metals and mining. Okay. Oil, kind of hanging in there. That's all right. Retail, lagging. Be careful with retail. Software, lagging. See this? Be careful with software stocks. And now we go to the max list. Apple. And it's just chopping around here a little bit. And this is a great lesson. I need y'all to remember this. Just because it's a green bar doesn't necessarily mean it's a good bar. Okay? I'm going to say that again. This is a valuable lesson. I was an IBD co-leader for 12 years. I taught this every month on the stage. Okay? We hammered this stuff. People knew this stuff. They knew it so well they could teach it. I'll say it again. Just because it's a green bar doesn't necessarily mean it's a good bar. At the same time, just because it's a red bar doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad bar. Now, we'll just do this example. This bar right here, oh, it's a green bar on heavier volume, but note how it closed. It closed in the bottom third of its range. Be careful with that. You want stocks, you like them to close near their highs, coming on a clean and simple basis on volume. This is just chopping around, but on the daily, you can see if it starts to take out the tops of this bar, coming into a seasonally strong period with volume, this could be a potential candidate, taking out the tops of this bar right here. Okay, so there's Apple. Continue onwards. Amazon it's pretty dang choppy here, folks. I mean, this is not the best thing since sliced bread on the daily or on the weekly. Okay, so be careful with that. Alibaba's picking up a little bit. A lot of overhead supply. But here's one thing that's interesting. Look at the clean tops and look at the volume spike here and look at the volume spike here. That's what we'd like to see. Take out that line and do it on really good volume. But note, and this is important, this is a valuable lesson, there is a ton of overhead supply right in here. Okay? So, how do you control risk? Is if you buy it, you buy less shares. There you go. And it needs price and volume pushing through that line. There we go. BIDU, it's chopping around here also. You can kind of see it right across these tops. It's, you know, BABA and BIDU. There's BABA across the tops. There's BIDU. I'll draw this for you. Across those tops. But note, ton of overhead supply here, folks. All right? Be aware of that. Let's continue onwards. Google's forming kind of cup and a handle here, folks. You see this? Look at this. It lifts up and it pulls back. And this is a great lesson for everybody. Forming a little handle. And it's doing it on what? Decreasing volume. So what will we look for? Take out these tops in here and do it on really heavy volume in a good market. There you go. Let's continue onwards. Goldman Sachs is marching up. There's no real clean entry on this at this point in time. Okay? But you can see it's trending up. And yes, it's a MAXLIST stock. Any clean entry? Again, not a super clean entry at this point in time. Pointing out. Meta, just really nothing special here, folks. Okay? I'll refresh this. Hold on just a second. Yeah, there's just not a lot of clean, simple stuff here. Be careful with that. Microsoft, perhaps across this line right here. And I'll draw this for you to help you. Here you go. What's it going to need? Push through here, that line, and it needs to do it on really heavy volume. There you go. across these tops. Not the best setup in the world. Why do I say that? Look at all the overhead supply on the weekly, folks. There we go. Netflix starts to lift up, takes it back. Maybe it'll base and lift off. Netflix has been really good to us through the years. There's not a lot of great setups at this point in time. One of our last setups was back in here, and this was pretty good. And there was another one back in here, I do believe. I'd have to go back further, but there it is. Not much there. There's Netflix. Let's continue onward. NVDA runs up. It's pulling back. Possible bounce off the 8 EMA. Not really clean and simple, though. And again, you're seeing this in a lot of the MAXLIST stocks at this point in time. Tesla has been great to us through the years. But right now, not a lot of good things happening here, is there? Don't argue with it. By the way, we had this. You see this right back in here? See that clean and simple base? See that volume pickup? That was a double. Right in here. There you go. That's serious money. We had VIPs. They made $1 million on this run. Okay, there you go. Let's continue on. Right now, though, let's address it now. Not a lot of clean and simple here, folks, is there? Be careful with it.
Thank you for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit like. Maybe hit that subscribe button. We come up with new content nearly every day. Also, check out the videos on the right. YouTube recommends the one on the top, and the bottom one is something we thought you might enjoy. See you next time.